movement. It is called Time's Up. It is bringing more than 300 Hollywood women together to help people across all industries fight sexual harassment in the workplace. We're going to speak with two of the founders in a moment, but first, you have the details for us, Amy?
That's right. We know that Me Too got the conversation started, but now Time's Up is offering solutions to battle sexual harassment and to create change at workplaces across the country for all women.
This morning, A-list actresses like Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, and Jennifer Lawrence joining forces with behind-the-scenes power players like Scandal executive producer Shonda Rhimes to fight sexual misconduct in Tinseltown and beyond. The coalition of more than 300 women calling itself Time's Up, taking out a full-page ad in newspapers, including the New York Times, writing, "Now, unlike ever before, our access to the media and to important decision-makers has the potential of leading to real accountability and consequences." The initiative, a response to the avalanche of sexual misconduct allegations rocking Hollywood and beyond. Actress Ashley Judd, a member of Time's Up, told Diane Sawyer of her alleged experience with disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein.
And he obviously grabbed my hand. It's like the look on my face is abject terror. Like, I can see it in my eyes.
But Time's Up also vowing to help less privileged women fight back, saying, to every woman employed in agriculture who has to fend off unwanted sexual advances from her boss, every janitor trapped nightly in a building with a predatory supervisor, we stand with you, we support you. The initiative establishing a legal defense fund for working-class women, backed by $13 million in donations from the likes of Meryl Streep and director Steven Spielberg. Shonda Rhimes telling the New York Times, if this group of women can't fight for a model for other women who don't have as much power and privilege, then who can?
Time's Up is also urging women to wear black to next Sunday's Golden Globes and use red carpet interviews to speak out against sexual harassment, as well as gender and racial inequality in Hollywood. And organizers say they have already heard of male actors who plan to do the same, which is a pretty cool, united way to confront this.
Getting involved. And so, Amy, we're going to talk to two of the founders of Time's Up. They're joining us exclusively, attorney Nina Shaw and Tina Tchen, who helped spearhead the group's legal defense fund and was the chief of staff of former First Lady Michelle Obama. Thank you both so much for being with us. And Nina, let me start with you. Tell us how.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Tell us how this group came together.
I'd like to say that we're outrage funneled into action. You have a group of women. All of us were obscenely disturbed, as was all of America, as was all of the world, about what had happened. And we immediately started to say, what can we do? What can we do to make a difference? And it began as a series of meetings, and the attendance grew and it grew. And because we were all people who were used to getting things done, you know, they say, get something done, ask a busy woman. And here we are today.
And as Amy said in her report, Nina, this is about getting solutions. I mean, it's great, the Me Too, continue the conversation, but Time's Up is about solutions. Nina?
It is. I mean, yeah, the solutions that we're looking for are, for example, the Legal Defense Fund, the Time's Up Legal Defense Fund that we started, that now has $13.5 million in donations on our GoFundMe page, including $5 and $10 donations. And the purpose of the fund and the attorneys who are stepping up to help them is to help low-income women like the janitors, like the farm workers, like home health workers who don't have the means to get representation that they need to protect themselves when they speak out and to assert their rights.
And Tina, this is the difference here with this legal defense fund, because the Me Too movement was started in 1997 by Tarana Burke, an activist, but it wasn't until Hollywood became involved last year that it got so much attention, and there are women of color and lower income women who have felt that they have been left out of this conversation, and this will address this fund will, Tina?
Well, that's the whole purpose of it. I mean, the real object of the fund is to make sure that women who are the voiceless, who really don't have representation and are afraid to come forward, know now that they have access to legal resources. So anyone who needs those, we have partnered with the National Women's Law Center, who, you know, Robin, is, you know, a 45-year-old women's rights organization, well respected, been fighting for these rights for decades. They will be the home for the Time's Up Legal Defense Fund. They have a portal and a button for legal assistance on their website. I urge folks who need help to go to that. And I urge attorneys who want to volunteer to go to the website as well to volunteer. and folks who want to donate to go to the GoFundMe page, because we need to, litigation is expensive, legal representation is expensive, and we want to make sure people have the resources to speak out.
And the fund is growing. And Nina, just explain a little bit more about how those funds will be used.
Well, as of this morning, 4,100 people had donated more than $13 million to the fund. And one of the wonderful things about having the National Law Center involved is that we have a in-place organization with a history of standing up for the rights of women, who will be able to both help people who come to the fund and also help attorneys who are interested in being part of the representation. I think it matches the best of both worlds.
A last question for both of you, and I'll start with you right there, Nina. A lot of men have felt left out of the conversation, the Me Too movement and such. And you all are addressing that as well, and know that men need to be involved in this movement.
Oh, absolutely, Robin. We're all in this together. At the end of the day, these are about abuses of power, and these abuses of power will end when we have parity, and we'll only have parity when we all come to the table together. So Me Too and Time's Up it's really about, and I should say this about Time's Up, it's really about bringing all people to the table, including our allies. When you look at the men who have donated to the GoFundMe, and they've said wonderful things, and they've talked about wanting to be involved, I think that's proof of their need to be involved, our need to have them involved, and us all going forward together.
And we are seeing that with Time's Up, and our time is almost up, but I'll give you the final word, Tina.
Well, it's not just about sexual harassment. It's about really changing the way our workplaces work to make them fairer for everyone. And we need men and women and everyone involved. So thank you.
That's a good bottom line. Tina, good to see you again. Nina, thank you both so very, very much. I'm sure we'll be having more conversations and more solutions going forward. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.